Good morning, and thank you for joining us for today's Legislative Affairs Virtual Town Hall with Director for UC Benefits and Policy, Susan Dickinson. Before I get started with opening remarks, I'd like to provide you with a few key points about today's virtual town hall format. Purposes of these calls are to provide educational and training information to assist you in providing responses to your office's constituents regarding the UC program. If you have questions on UC, we ask that you use the chat window in Teams. Please include your name and the name of your legislator's office, as well as the question. In the interest of time, you'll be limited to one question, but time permitting, we will open up the call for a second round or possibly a third. Unfortunately, due to confidentiality issues as well as time constraints, we do ask that you do not ask questions pertaining to individual UC claims. For your use, we will provide legislative staffers with a link to this recording following today's call, and we'll include any follow-up to remaining issues that we did not have a chance to address this morning. For your awareness, the call is being recorded. If you do not consent to being recorded, please hang up now. And just a quick update as far as LegWeb is concerned, there are 57 pending in the queue, with the oldest one being July 22nd at 9:59 a.m. So about one day ago. And with that, let's get started with comments from Susan.
Good morning, everyone. The one update I have today is about the PIN issues. They should all be resolved. To recap what was going on with the PIN, for those of you who might not know, for a couple months now, we had an issue where when someone would reopen their claim, it's the same claim they had before, it would issue a new PIN. The last time we had a legislative town hall, I had let you know that that had been fixed, but it kind of created this new problem where it seemed like when someone did have a PIN issued for a new claim, it was issuing two at the same time, duplicate ones. So we looked into it with our vendor. There's it wasn't clear if the system was doing it or if staff were doing it, but nevertheless, they put in a change to prevent that from happening either way. And that is like we can't issue two PINs in rapid succession, like if someone accidentally hits the key or something. So there's a fail-safe in there now to make sure that if a certain amount of time hasn't passed, we can't issue a new PIN. So that should prevent anyone from accidentally issuing one in case it was staff generated. So in any case, all that was, I don't think that was last week. I think that was the end of the week before, which would have been after the town hall. That was put into place. So you shouldn't see, starting with like last week and moving forward, you shouldn't see any issues with the PINs anymore. When someone gets their PIN, it should stay their PIN. There shouldn't be another one issued unless they actually ask for it. So that should be resolved. If you see anything different, let us know. Keep in mind that doesn't go back in time to fix anything. It just from that point forward, only one should be issued at a time. And we do have it set up. Remember, this all started because we were setting it up so that when someone files a claim over the phone with our staff, that the PIN will automatically generate. Up until then, we were thinking staff were checking with people, and because they're filing over the phone and saying, do you plan to file using PAT, and then issuing them a PIN, but it wasn't always happening. So to prevent the human error of not asking people if they want a PIN, we set it up so that anytime staff are the ones who create the claim, it will automatically issue to the person, and so they can use it to file using PAT if they so choose. They could still also file online if they get online access, so whichever one they want to do. So that's the only update I have. So we'll wait and see if we have questions.
There was one question that asked for the LegWeb update a second time. I put it in text, but also say it again. There are 56 pending in the queue, with the oldest inquiry being July 22nd at 9:59 a.m. So basically a one-day lag at this point.
Another thing I just thought of, I don't remember if I confirmed last time, but all of the ID.me kiosks are rolled out across the state. So if anyone, is looking to verify their online, to be able to use the system online, even if they called in, just like I was talking about, even if they called in to file their initial claim, if they want to use online to file their weekly claims, and they need an online account, anyone who wants to use online needs to go through ID.me. Or, we still have the option where people can go online if we do a staff verification. Staff will look at their driver's license and another form of identification, 2 forms of ID, and then be able to verify them. But it does kind of limit things that they do, because it will pop, like the ID.me prompt will pop up for certain things, sensitive things. So if someone wants to change their password, or if someone wants to change their bank account, they'll have to go through the ID.me prompt then. So someone who is staff verified would have trouble at that point. They wouldn't be able to get through because they need to do the ID.me prompt. And that's just because, like I said, it's sensitive information. We don't want fraudsters being able to just change things if they do somehow get access to someone's account. So we have those extra hurdles in there. In any case, so the kiosks are around the state. And I mean, so far it's been quiet about them, but with some positive feedback, that whole no news is good news thing. So since we haven't really been hearing it from people, other than the right up front, we were hearing, oh, it only takes 5 minutes, it's really easy. So those kiosks are in all the career links and select UPS stores. Keep in mind, we did not select the UPS stores. That's just the Pennsylvania UPS stores that ID.me deals with. So it's between the UPS store and ID.me. We just activated Pennsylvania for those. So there's multiple options people have if they want to do their do their identity verification in person at one of those kiosks. That way there's no issues with like the version of the cell phone they're using, or something not reading, their software might not be up to date or something like that. Just go to the kiosk and it's really easy to use. So those were rolled out as of the end of June. So it's been a few weeks now that those have all been available across the state.
Susan, I was actually at a UPS store the other day, and the folks that are there have someone to help people with it as well. So they didn't have to go in and like fumble through it themselves. There was a person walking someone through the ID.me kiosk. So.
Right. Yeah. Good point.
Really helpful in that regards.
Yes. Yeah, because at the UPS stores, they have them there for multiple reasons. It's not just us. Like I was saying, that's a contract between ID.me and the UPS store. So they do them for like Veterans Administration. I don't know if the IRS uses the in-person ones. There's a bunch of different agencies or companies that use those kiosks in the UPS stores. So that's why they're there.
Sure. Penny from Senator Dush's office. So this might be an odd question, but I know Social Security and VA websites also use ID.me. Could they use those kiosks as well?
Well, there you go. At least the UPS store ones, yes, like as long as I know that Veterans Administration is activated in the UPS stores. Of course, I guess these things could change at any time, so it would be good to check the ID.me website. I don't know if Social Security does or not. I will say they wouldn't be able to use the ones in the career links to do this. It's just the UPS store ones. But ID.me's website, I think, has a listing of everything that they can verify at different places. So because it is like a service, it costs us extra money for the kiosks in the career links. It costs us extra money for the UPS store activation. So all of those agencies would have had to agree with ID.me to do the activation of the UPS stores, and of course they pay more for it. So it would depend on which stores participate. So their website somewhere has I've seen it before. It's been a while since I've looked at it, but they do show like all the different agencies that they serve and how you can, like I know when we click on Pennsylvania unemployment, a page comes up that like explains the different ways you can verify with Pennsylvania. So those would have the same type of thing.
Just to verify then, each ID.me kiosk depends on where it's located, could determine which services it would link up with.
Yeah, like I only know of them having the UPS store ones, like as a permanent semi-permanent kind of fixture where agencies can turn them on or off. The career link thing was really just for us. I mean, we really just for unemployment. We requested that. I don't know if that's a thing that other agencies do or not. Maybe we're pioneers. I don't know. But we, had grant money, so we were able to do that with them because those are actual units that we had to get, like the physical units to rent. Whereas the UPS store, the physical unit was already there. It's just a matter of turning the service on or off. So it was a different situation. So I guess it's possible, other agencies may have, the rentals like we got, but that agency would have to say where. I don't know where they would be.
If you have any other questions, please put them in chat right now. Otherwise, this will be another gloriously short meeting. I'll give it a moment or two.
Do we ever have Neil back as a guest star?
Probably not. Every once in a while, we get an odd picture of him poolside, typically with smiley emoji and some glasses and a cigar emoji.
we could do a remote episode. We'll go to Neil's pool.
Yeah. Josh would have been here this morning, unfortunately, taking care of the pupper. All right. Gina from Senator Kim Ward's office. Is the cost for the kiosks in the UPS service monthly? Or is it for how many people use it?
There was a cost to get the actual unit and get it shipped. And then the ongoing cost is like a per verification thing. There might be like a rental cost or something that goes along with it, but it's mostly how many people verify. And one thing that ID.me does, which is nice, they've always been this way for all the years we've been working with them, is they only charge for verification. So if someone fails verification, we don't get charged for that. We only get charged for successful verifications. So it's the same thing in person as well. That's always been online, but same thing in person as well. So we'll get charged, whatever it is per person who actually successfully verifies. And I will say, so far, I don't remember the stats offhand. We just looked at them too. But they're not very highly used. So, they aren't being flooded with people. There's plenty of people using them. And like I said, the people who do use them quite easily. It's just not a high, I want to say, we were looking at a chart about a week ago, and we were looking at last month, and it was maybe 250 people verified last month in person, something like that. It was not compared to how many claims we get, 10,000 a week or whatever. It really isn't a lot of people, but of course it's very helpful to those people who need to have it. It's fortunate that we had the grant money to be able to go ahead and do this.
All right, last call. If you have any other questions that you'd like to ask and you've been a little shy at this point, don't worry about it. Just go ahead and put it down and we'll be glad to get it reviewed and have Susan answer it for you, and everybody will be on their way.
And if not, we'll be back in 2 weeks. Actually, I have to let you guys know when I'll be on vacation and see if I'll have to miss that one or not. The end of August.
You can't take vacation if it's going to conflict with one of these.
I'll run out of here. You can't stop me. I'll email that to you afterward.
We'll just interview you poolside wherever you go.
Yes, that'd be good. Let's all go. I'm going to Massachusetts to my aunt's beach house. We'll go to Aunt Jeannie's house. We'll all go. We'll do it from there.
Yeah, I'm okay with a remote session. That'd be fine.
There you go.
All right, seeing no other questions pop up at this point, we thank everybody who's attended this morning. We'll get a recording of this out for the vital information that came out regarding ID.me. And we thank everyone, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks. Take care, everyone.
Thanks, Kate.